And that goes through for a behind to the left-hand side. 2-6-18 to 8-18-66. And mind you, if you look at the Narre Warren side, they've got a lot of Trents. Trent Cody, Trent Patworth, Trent Shinners. 3.
That's a lovely piece of useless information.
Yeah, well,
I've been waiting for that, yeah.
Have you got my keys? Talking of not knowing when my keys are normally. Back into play goes Piper. He favours the commentary side, and it is extremely dark now. As the late great Jack Dye would have said, darker than the black hole of Dakota. Mark taken there by Jellyman Turner. It's turned over in the middle of the ground. Hand pass comes out from Narre Warren. Again, they've got the options everywhere. Not able to get a decent possession was Tucker Berwick. On hands and knees is Van out. Again working through. Picking it up is Thomas. Thomas lending support. They've had numbers everywhere. Even when they've got themselves into trouble with poor disposal, they've managed to mop it up and tidy it up. A high ball from Piper, and it held up for a long time. Eventually the mark taken by Jellyman Turner, who's been superb today. He just knocked up getting the footy. And he kicks it short, kicks it wide, and in front of our commentary position, the big ruckman takes the mark. That's Cyrilus. Cyrilus for Berwick, kicks to half forward. He and also Young have combined well today. Holding his ground was Tonner to bring it to ground for Narre Warren. Brennan was taken under tackle. I thought he threw that one out for Berwick. Going in hard, Shinners, who I think's battled hard for a big man. By Shinners, trying to burst his way through Rutherford. Got the hand pass out to Asher. He overcooks the hand pass turnover. Narry's defence okay. Cody receives the hand pass on the out. He kicks now towards the wing. From behind, almost a mark to Richardson. Kicked a goal early, then spinning out of tackles Cox, who did well to crumb it. He kicks towards half forward now, leading into space. Trying to do something is, and he's been out of the game today, is Zeetzman at the back. It's picked up by Johnson, who's also been rather understated today, just playing his roll down back, but his kick's out of bounds on the full for Berwick, and it'll be kicked back into play by Narre Warren.
So even that close to goal, you really should be kicking to this side of the ground, Dan, because he kicked it to the far side from the centre square, bang, it went out. You have to stay this side of the ground.
Zeetzman on the left, kicks to a pack. Inside 50, Cox from behind, couldn't mark it. Hitting the pack hardest foot, who kicked the goal early. High left foot, kicked the full forward.
Good grab.
Great kick and using the body and taking the mark in the goal square. A chance for a shot at goal for Narre Warren. It just dropped a little bit short. There was read best by Davies. He started the game in defence. This is a good move by Matthew Shinners to move one of his tall players up forward to see if he could play a role in the finals, and he drills it from point blank range, and they kick their third goal of the day and cut the margin to 42 points as the rain starts to have an impact here at the Edwin Flack Oval. 3-6-24 to 8-18-66 on the Berwick Master scoreboard.
We're going to need the lights on down at this rate. Can you see the scoreboard at this stage is brightly shining. What are we around about the 14, almost the 15-minute mark? Probably got another 10 minutes left in this game, and it could be dark, well and truly dark by the time we finish.
Extremely dark.
I can't see, Dan, but then I can't see at the best of times because of my glasses.
And you can now, here it comes.
It's pouring now.
Driving rain now. It's taken until the last 15 minutes of the game. Shinners mistimes his lead. Quirk couldn't take it cleanly. Good weather for Ducks. Socket out of congestion by foot towards the boundary for Narre Warren. Very close to the line.
Someone's got their lights on over the other side. Down there, bright. Reminds me of Wimbledon, that final. Who was that between? Rafter, was it? Rafter and Sampras?
The late great Neil Hawke, the Australian cricketer, tells a story. I'll get you in a minute about that. 1964 Test match which Australia won to ensure that they retain the Ashes. A high kick inside 50. Comes down now towards Sorozinski, or towards Tonner I should say. Kicks inside 50. He was taken in the side as he kicked that around the body off balance, and it'll be thrown up 40 metres out. I know everyone's waiting for the Neil Hawke story with bated breath. Now it's going to be holding the ball as it was tapped down to Piper from Young of Berwick, and then he got taken under tackle by Cox, his opponent. They had a really good battle. Piper has won it, I would have thought, hands down, but Cox has an opportunity to kick a goal here. He missed a sitter a minute or so ago. He'll kick from inside 50, 40 metres out. He kicks it very, very high, but it's been taken towards the pocket. No mark taken. Davies was trying to punch him, but he's about 3 or 4 deep for Narre, but a big pack forming in front of him. Yeah, 1964, Neil Hawke was batting with Peter Burge, and Peter Burge had batted brilliantly to try and get 100 before stumps, and Hawke had batted really well with him as well. They were losing wickets left, right and centre, and Hawke just held his own, and then Neil Hawke remembers that it was so dark, I think it was at Leeds, it was so dark that he could see when a bowler was coming in to bowl someone lighting a cigarette in the crowd. That's how dark it was. Burge got his 100 and Hawke was out the last ball of the day, and Burge was really angry with himself that he allowed Hawke to face that last ball, but at the end of the day everyone clapped Burge for making 100 and virtually winning the game for Australia.
Well, my Wimbledon story's not as exciting as that, so I'll tell it after the game.
I look forward to that, Coach. Can't wait. That's why I've got you here, Coach, for all your storytelling. And it'll be thrown up 35 metres out from the goal. But
I thought I was the gopher.
Oh, you're everything, Coach. You're a jack of all trades. Ball to be thrown up, a bit like my good self. Tap down again. Good play by Young. Coming out of defence is Asher. He's a good young player, high ball. And taking the mark, running with the fighters, McNamara. McNamara kicks low. No mark taken by Tonner. Just about the best player for Narre today. It's ripped off him by Ash Smith. He kicks quickly towards the outer side in the driving rain, and Sorozinski runs it over the boundary. What are we, 18 minutes in the last quarter? Lights are now on, although the globe's out on one of the lights on the outer side.
No,
and the half-forward flank at the southern end.
They could be just warming up.
Could they be warming up?
Oh, they could be.
Well, there's only one light on the second of the lights on the half-forward flank at the northern end, Coach.
Glass half full, Dan. I keep telling you this. You never know.
So we've got 5 of 8 lights on. That's not too bad. It's better than none.
It is better.
Boundary throw it. They're doing a great job, Berwick. We hope grand final day is not like this, not as dark or as wet as this. But the ground looks in pretty good nick. Again, it's socket along the turf. That's what you have to do in these conditions. Good hand pass, Smith. Again, used it well. Finds Piper, who's been very, very good today. Kicks inside 50 for Berwick. The fist down by the Narre defence, have been under the pump all day. Slips out now to McLean, hard on the boundary. Affects the kick as he was tackled, goes out of bounds on the full. 66 plays 24, margin 42 points, Berwick's way, 19 minutes last quarter. I'll check the MPNFL score shortly. Kick back into play towards the wing. Off hands Van Oort, was taken under tackle, might have nearly thrown that out, and the umpire says there might nearly have to be a free kick here. No, he's going to ball it up. I thought a player had someone fall on his back then. Maybe it should have been a Berwick free kick. Tapped down by Shinners. Getting a hurry boot to ball was Toner. Didn't go very far. Hand pass comes out from Rutherford. And then there's a number of players milling around the contest. There will be a Narre free kick.
Can we go home now, Dan?
Oh, we've got to go and get some interviews in the rooms, Coach.
I know. Or can we have the mercy rule? Oh, on the full.
This is out of bounds on the full. It's obviously a very, very heavy ball.
You can't blame him.
After Narre got a free kick. And it goes out of bounds on the full to be taken by McLean. Kick was off the side of the boot. High kick by McLean has been pretty handy today. Big pack, no one can mark it. There's Shepherd again.
Yes!
He hit that hard. The monitoring socket through for a goal. No. Touched on the line. James Magnet was there at the very end to try and finish it off. He just couldn't quite control it. Another behind. 8-19-67 to 3-6-24. Kick back into play. Doesn't quite find a target. The boys having a lovely time to our left. Nice, quiet, retiring type coach, aren't they? They'll be thrown up 40 metres out from Berwick's goal. Into time on last quarter. Morozov doing the ruck work. Might have been outpointed. Gets an opportunity again. Throws the ball in the boot after being thrown in the tackle. Fist away again by King of Narre Warren. Run over the boundary by his teammate Foot. And it'll be thrown back into play. 43-point lead.
They're having
21 minutes
gone.
gone.
Boys, Dan.
What's that?
They're having a crack at McLean. One of their own boys.
Oh, you're McLean's it's showing. Back into play. Socket away again by Morozov. Hand pass comes out once more. But Narre under the pump. And again, Toner got a hand pass out. Didn't quite find the target. Goes over the boundary again. 30 metres out from the goal. Narre are defending, and they have been doing most of the defending all day. Doing it religiously now at the northern end. Don't know whether they're religious people, but they're doing it religiously anyway. Back into play. Tap down again. Thank you for laughing. Morozov's hand pass doesn't find a target. And there's going to be a free kick. It'll go Narre Warren's way, and it'll be taken by the big fellow Shinners, who for mine is... Sorry, coach, has tried pretty hard today. Last line of defence. First time I've said it. I've said about 1,000 words today. Kicks to the wing. Mark dropped by Papworth. It just bounced off the ample frame of the other big fellow for Narre. It's interesting that both teams have got two ruckmen, although Papworth plays more forward than is the traditional ruckman that Berwick have got. And they've got Young and also Cyrilis, who've changed every 10 minutes off the bench today. Free kick going to Rutherford. Rutherford has been great again. Kicks inside 50 for Berwick. Good play, McNamara. Fills the hole, puts his body on the line for Narre. Might receive the footy again, but the hand pass again didn't find who he was looking for. Picked up by Shepard like a dry ball. Swings around the body, and the mark is taken right on the line by Sorozinski. Shepard picked that up in one hand. A wet ball. He got it very quickly, Sorozinski, to his teammate who kicks down the line, and that's Toner. And it goes to the back. And Shane Scanlon's had a pretty quiet day. It eluded him, and then at the back, they weren't able to get control of it. It'll be thrown up. Would you be right in front of our commentary position? Would you be using the E word down at this stage? What's the E word? Well, think about it. The E word. You use the E word quite a bit. Have a think about it. Keep going. Endeavour. Emphatic. It's an emphatic victory. No doubt about that. Endeavour's one of my favourite words too, Coach, and Berwick have shown, I think, a bit more endeavour than Narre Warren have. A lot more. Thrown up, tapped down by Shinners. Papworth tried to do the roving the big man, taken by his teammate who barrels it long, Shane Scanlon, who's trying to show the crowd that he can get a bit of the footy. He kicks well inside, attacking 50. Arthurson tried to control it for Berwick, might have been outnumbered. Big Richardson's there, he goes to ground, gets bowled over. Again, they've got numbers out of defence. They've had numbers all day today, and they have not panicked. Good play by Shepard. He kicks to a contest, though. Fisted down by Stagg of Narre Warren. Arthurson taken to ground, and Stagg tackle inside, attacking 50 on the outer side of Edwin Flack Oval here at Berwick at the southern end. And it'll be thrown up again. 67-24. Berwick by 43 points on the Fairhaven home scoreboard. One of the proud sponsors. Taken by Cody, kicks inside 50 and almost a mark to Richardson, not up, deems the umpire. It'll be thrown up. He would have taken that mark just outside the goal square on a slight angle at the southern end for Narre. There hasn't been a lot of, goals or points kicked this quarter, Dan, so I don't think we're going to be going too much. What are the 24-minute mark now? The rain has stopped, and a hurried kick out of defence by Jellyman Turner. A cut off by Zeetzman, hard on the boundary, is the left footer. He will lob it towards the forward pocket. Richardson has given away a free kick. He came in late in the contest, and Hillard has been very solid as a small defender today. In short to Tuck, who takes the mark at half back. Travis Tuck, a lot of experience. Good kick. But the mark not completed, close to the boundary. And it goes over the line. Just on defensive 50 again for Berwick. They've been outstanding, only allowing 24 points to be scored by the top team in the comp after losing their previous two encounters by 9 and 19 respectively to the Magpies this year. And they'll go in to the final series and a chance, if they beat Cranbourne next week, of playing Narre in the second semi, confident they can beat the league leaders who've been outplayed today in a disappointing performance on the eve of the finals. Loose ball. They've still got the ball inside attacking 50 though, Narre, but only another shallow entry, which has been a big issue for them today. They try and get possession. Hurried kick comes out from Stagg towards full forward. Again attacking it hard is Van Oort. He holds it up for Berwick. 35 out from the goal they're defending. It'll be thrown up. 26 minutes gone in the last quarter. Margin 43 points. Tap down. And again, they'll run away from the contest. Tuck does well. That big body Great kick to McLean. Too high for him. Missed by McNamara. King lends him support. McNamara runs him down, but he got boot to ball, so can't be holding the ball, boys. No, the rules. Comes out of the pack. Good play by Berwick. On the end of it is Connolly. Almost run down by Sorozinski. He kicks very, very high to full forward. Money couldn't take the mark, so he had to be involved in the spoil. Tapped it straight down to Quirk, and nearly turns it over. Dylan Quirk for Narre Warren. Again, it's 2-on-1 for Berwick late in the game. It's like they're trailing. That's how much their pressure is. They're still fantastic, going hard at the footy, leading by 43 points. Eventually, Narre wins the day in this contest, and it's Tonner who kicks around the body to Dylan Quirk, who marks it half back. 43 points, 67 plays 24, 27 gone in the last quarter. Narre haven't been able to bring the ball out to this side of the ground, which Matthew Shinners would have liked as much as he would have wanted. Irwin has been very quiet today. Kicks towards the wing. Collins stands his ground, takes the mark, shrugs off tackles for Narre Warren. Kicks high inside 50, camped underneath it. Jellyman Turner, who's been everywhere today. He's been lucky star. He kicks towards the boundary line on the outer side. And they can slow it down once more. Jed Smith has to go back, nothing on offer, down the line. Back to Jellyman Turner, who just has managed to be loose most of the day. Kicks to Shepherd. Can he pick it up? Inside the boundary. I think Luke Shepherd's quite relieved that it is able to skid away from him and go out of bounds. 65 around from the goal. They're defending at the southern end. 24 plays 67. Berwick are going to win again at home. The home of the grand final in the Sefnal this year. And it'll be the home of the elimination final next week between Officer and their opponents, who'll be Beaconsfield. Back into play. Tap down by Patworth. Socket away by Collins. In the road is Ash Smith, who's been Mr. Reliable today. Brennan gets a hand pass out. Might have to get it back. Asher lends him support. Eventually the kicker smothered. In the middle of the ground, Rutherford. On the end of it, Sorozinski. He wore a bump as well. The umpire says play on. Left foot kick by Dempster. Kicks inside 50. No mark taken. Again, the defence terrific. They've halved most contests down there, Berwick. Socket by Shepherd. In the road, though, Cody does well for Narre Warren. Little foot pass. Dylan Quirk, and that's a good kick. And Dempster's on the end of it. And might get a late goal for the Magpies in the closing stages at the 29-minute mark.
It's been intense, hasn't it? I mean, that was a bit of bad luck in the end. There's just more numbers to the ball, Narre Warren, but it's just been that intense pressure from Berwick, and they're just not. They're not holding back with what, maybe a minute or two to go, Dan?
Minute or two to go. And Dempster kicks a goal, the fourth goal of the day. And they've managed to kick 2 goals to 1 in the last quarter, so they might have won this last quarter. 4-6-30 to 8-19-67. They've kicked 1-4 to 2-1, so they've outscored them by 3 points. That's a win. Well, that's unless they get a goal straight away, which they've done most of the day. The problem has been, I mean, it's a bit late now, piling on consecutive goals for the league leaders, Narre Warren, but that was a nice finish by Mitch Dempster.
Well, it's 2-1 to 1-4. So that's what the coach wanted at three-quarter time. He said, get the ball out on this side, not the far side. Keep it away from the wind. Just win the quarter and see how we go.
Which coach?
Eh?
You or Matt Shinners? You wanted them to win too, though, didn't you, coach, this last quarter to make it even?
I'm not biased, Dan, in either way. I'm neutral.
You're not understanding my humour, are you, Coach?
No, I'm not quite getting it, Dan.
We've just about spent every day together for the last 3 months driving each other insane. You still don't get my humour.
Still don't get it.
Comes out of the middle.
I'm too cold.
Oh, I'm extremely cold too, Coach. I've got my hands. I can't even write the goal kickers down.
I can't feel my feet.
That was my last effort. That. Terrible. You couldn't even see the S, which means in general play. Here's Travis Tuck again as he receives the ball back in centre square. McLean marks. 31 minutes gone. Doing well. McLean kicks high inside 50, almost a mark to money. Can he do something clever? He's kicked 1 goal forward today. Hasn't had the kicking boots on, but presented nicely. Connolly worried out of it in the contest, and the umpire deems a throw. Narre Warren free kick. Long last quarter, nearly 31 minutes gone. 8-19-67 to 4-6-30 on the Fairhaven home scoreboard, a lead of 37 points for Berwick. McNamara kicks close to the boundary again and camped underneath and coughing one high. And he'll get the free kick as the young boy from Hailbury College, Jack Toner, trying to set the tone in the contest.
I got that, Dan.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
At
half-back, close to the boundary. Lacks distance in the kick, kicks to the wing. Shepard got a hand. There's the siren. Big win to Berwick, and they get ready for the qualifying final next week in emphatic style, Coach. 8-19-67 to 4-6-30. They've won by 37 points. The last quarter going 31 minutes and 25 seconds. We'll get some quick comments from the coach as I check some scores from the other grounds. And on that performance, Coach, Berwick are going to be very, very hard to beat. And on that performance, as it's only 6 degrees here at the moment for Narre Warren, they've got some work to do between now and the second semi in a fortnight's time.
Well, they were outscored in that last quarter, but marginally, so it doesn't really matter. 8-9-67 to 4-6-30. At quarter time, all the coaches, and I listened to all the coaches from Berwick, they all said the same thing. Look, persist with what you're doing. At that stage, they had 12, I think, inside 50s at quarter time. They'd run down their opponents on 4 or 5 occasions for getting penalties for holding the ball. They were happy with their intensity. That was a quarter at a time. And then, of course, by the time half-time came around, they were pretty much well and truly in front of this game. And then again, at three-quarter time, the message was exactly the same. Keep doing what you're doing, work hard, and put the foot on the throat. Now, as I said, they lost that quarter marginally, but the intensity didn't drop off. So pretty much, well, emphatic is a word you'd use. I'd say outstanding and determined, Dan. They've got that look on their faces, and they wanted to send a message to Narre Warren, and they've definitely done that today.
27 scoring shots to 10. Big win by Berwick, and they've beaten Narre Warren for the first time this season after losing their previous 2 encounters. And this is the one to win on the eve of the finals, and there'll be a chance of playing each other again in the second semi in a fortnight. Berwick plays Cranbourne, and that'll be next Saturday at Beaconsfield. And the elimination final will be between Officer and Beaconsfield at Berwick here on Sunday. You'll see it live and hear it live on GameFace. Now, checking the first division in the MPNFL, well, Edithvale Aspinall are going to finish 4th. They've lost to Sorrento by 10 points. Mornington have come from a long way back to beat Seaford by 9 points. Mount Eliza and Frankston YCW have drawn.
No.
They've drawn 50 points each. They fought back well, Mount Eliza, after being in trouble early. So it's going to be Frankston YCW up against Edithvale Aspendale, and Mount Eliza are going to be playing Pines in the qualifying final. Pines are another big win. Best percentage in the comp. They've thrashed Bon Beach by 59 points, and Frankston Bombers have beaten Rosebud by 37. Now, just trying to get a score in the...
Good on Paddy. He's a good man,
he's done a great job, Paddy. A great job. Just trying to get a quick score, too, in the...
Dan, the sun's out.
Match between Red Hill and Coringal. The last score we had there was Red Hill leading Coringal in a very low-scoring match at Somerville in the qualifying final. The winner will play Dramana next week. The loser will play the winner of tomorrow's elimination final, and you'll be able to see a lot of interviews that we record on GameFace tomorrow down at Rye. That match between Chelsea and Lang Warren, but Red Hill 39 leading Coringal 26. And just before we go, I'll just check what's been happening in the AFL today. Some big matches after, of course, Essendon, unfortunately, coach for you, bowing out last night.
Not good enough, mate.
Finals contention. No, they're not good enough.
They will be. They will be.
They
good
will
enough
be, but they probably just need to find a better midfield. But it'll be very interesting in the match between Geelong and Fremantle. An unbelievable performance by Collingwood. 115 have beaten Port Adelaide 64. So the Magpies are looking good, and Port are now in real trouble of bowing out. They need to beat Essendon next week, and probably need Melbourne to lose to West Coast tomorrow, and hope they win next week and Melbourne lose to GWS.
Well, one Magpies won today.
And Geelong, 158, Fremantle 25. So the Cats are going to make it. Not sure they're good enough, but they've got such a good draw at the end against Fremantle and also Gold Coast. But the final score here, it's bitterly cold. It's been great being here at the Edwin Flack Oval today, the home of Australia's first ever Olympian, because he was born and bred here in Berwick. 8-19-67, beating Narre Warren 4-6-30. And the Wickers go into the qualifying final in great form. For the league leaders, Narre Warren, the minor premiers, some work to do before their next match in a fortnight's time. Thanks to Nick, thanks to Liam, thanks to Coach for all their hard work, and also for Glenn for allowing us to be here, and Glenn Gambetta and his team from the Berwick Football Club, and also for all the nurses who helped me when I arrived here today with my head bleeding. I really appreciate that. We'll be back with more football from the SEFNO and the finals next week. Enjoy the rest of your day.